Hello, everyone. It's Jerry at the Fledge. Welcome to another episode of Every Damn Day. And today I'm up in my office, which I am 95% of the time. I've got my headset on. I got brown hair and brown eyes. I'm wearing a I Made Detroit shirt, which is Wild in the Streets in 2012. I don't know if you know what that is, but 5,000 of us skateboarders took over Detroit and stopped traffic everywhere and skated all over the place. And if you haven't seen 5,000 skateboarders rumbling down the street, it is quite a sight. It was very loud throughout the city. So that's a call out to all my skateboarders in Lansing. And today on the show, we have our new friend, Bob. How you doing, Bob?
I'm good, Jerry. How are you?
I am great. So what's going on? What you been doing today?
Working this morning. Yeah, actually working since 8 o'clock this morning. So this is a break, which is great.
Oh, great. So are you in a studio?
No, I'm actually in my office at home. I have a green screen. And so I use this for interviews that I do for ePIFanyNow, which is the nonprofit that I founded in 2009.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to get to ePIFanyNow, but let's start with you.
Yeah.
You mind telling us about you? Like maybe born and raised, went to school, stuff like that?
Sure. Yeah. Blonde hair, blue eyes, really handsome, full of muscle. I guess two of those descriptions are right.
I knew you were going to do something like that. I just felt the energy.
I grew up, I'm from Owasso. I was born in Owasso, grew up in Weberville. Went to Michigan State University with every intention of leaving the state of Michigan when I graduated, but I was offered a job the day that I graduated from college and stayed. And boy, I'm so glad and so fortunate that I did, because I love Lansing and I love the people, the energy, the opportunities. I'm completely blessed to stay here and love my community.
What did you study at MSU?
So I studied anthropology and social science. So one of my heroes was, Margaret Mead, and I wanted to travel the world and be an anthropologist and a cultural anthropologist, really, and study cultures all over. Well, then I traveled overseas and I realized that I probably wouldn't be staying in the Ritz, and I probably wouldn't have the great cushy hotels that I was used to. And I was like, maybe I want to go into media.
Yeah.
Which I was under the impression that when you went into media, you'd make a lot of money too, which, geez, you don't do that either. But I went into media and I never regretted it. I love my job, and I'm still a cultural anthropologist because that's what I do. I tell stories, and I'm fascinated by the amazing world that we live in.
It's funny. I was going to try to tie those two things together, the cultural anthropologist and your love for Lansing. And do you ever just apply what you know to just how Lansing shapes itself and how we have different cultures? And
oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, Lansing is so diverse, and this whole mid-Michigan area is so diverse. And that's one of the things that I love about it. And I personally, I'm always on a mission to diversify my life even more, to bring in people that I don't know, or situations that I don't know, so I can learn, because that is kind of one of my life missions. Is every day is a learning opportunity, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can in the short time that I have on this earth.
Yeah. Do you find that the more you learn, the more you know that you got to learn more? I mean,
I thought you were going to say the more you know. No, I feel like the more I learn, the more I think, oh my God, I've got so much to learn. And what I thought I learned, I learn again, right? So what I thought, oh, I'm really good, I know this. Well, I don't know anything. It all changes. It's all all over the place.
I'm curious. So we use the term beacons, and we put beacons up to try to be invitations to people that are different than us. So we might, put an art studio up if we're all musicians, and then the art studio brings a different crowd, and then someone in that crowd wants something different. How do you bring in diversity into your life?
So I'm not a religious person, but I'm a very spiritual person. And I believe in a higher power and I believe in energy. And so a long time ago, I prayed to bring me diversity in my life, bring me people to my life that are positive. First of all, that is critical in my world, is bring me positive people that can teach me lessons and values. And so that is my prayer every day, really. Honestly, I want to surround myself with positive people making a difference. And I really believe fully that my purpose on this earth is to make a difference and learn from other people making a difference. So we already used that word symbiotic, but I believe that. I believe like energy attracts like energy. And so, yeah.
Well, here's I just want to. Mona's always saying hi, so we'll say hi to her. Great day at the Fledge. She's a person doing wellpreneurs in the Meridian Mall. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. And then Amy.
I know Amy. I love Amy. I interviewed Amy. She's amazing.
Yeah, I interviewed Amy too. I like her books.
Yes, she's what an incredible human being.
So as we move towards Epiphany Now, what are some of the things you did? You said you started Epiphany Now in 2009.
Yeah.
When did you graduate from college? 2007.
Jerry, you get a gold star, my friend. I graduated Michigan State in 1993. I just turned 52, and you know what? I'm proud. I love 52. I love my 50s. It's great. I'm learning so much, and honestly, I feel more comfortable in my skin than I've ever felt, and it's great. But yeah, so I graduated in 93, and I founded Epiphany Now in 2009, and I didn't find Epiphany Now with the goal of what it has become. It's sort of organic. Epiphany Now actually found me. So I didn't set out to, well, first of all, I should tell you what Epiphany Now is. So,
yeah.
Epiphany Now is on a mission to create a revolution of positive, transformational experiences through acts of kindness. The power of kindness is incredible. And when you can connect with it, it changes not only your life, but the person that you are connecting with, and vice versa. And I told you I already believe in energy. So that energy is palpable. And so we started in 2009 by gathering a group of people together. What I thought was going to be a small group ended up about 300 people in East Lansing, with the idea that we were just going to go out and randomly pass kindness forward and then come back and share our stories. And so we did that. And the universe works in mysterious ways, Jerry, because I thought it was going to be a lot of my friends and people that I knew that were in my circle. And it was, but it was so many other diverse people as well. I remember specifically a biker dude coming in, leather biker, muscles, and I thought to myself, oh gosh, what is he doing here? Like, that was my first reaction. And he came back and he's like, dude, this was so amazing. This was awesome. Thank you for this. And it was me. It was my prayer, right? Diversity, bring people into my life that I don't have. And so what you say and what you get could be different than what you imagine.
Yeah.
Perfect. But so we've been doing this since 2009. Every year we gather, we were doing it twice a year, but every year now we gather large groups of people together, give them ideas, time, treasure, talent, because no matter where you are in the world, you have something to give. You're here for a purpose, in my opinion, and you have something to give. And when you give that energy, you get the most amazing energy back. It's a free drug, Jerry. It's a free drug. Everyone should be doing it. It makes you feel so incredibly good. And here's the great news. It's legal.
Yeah. And it breeds itself.
And it breeds itself.
Yeah.
So we started that in 2009, and then we, from there, developed the Y-PIF Award, which is Youth Passing It Forward. And that we started in 2015. And that was all about honoring youth who are doing something to change their school or community for the better. That came about because I was seeing a lot of news stories about youth and the trouble that they're in, and this gang did this and this person did this. And I just thought, gosh, youth have such a bad rap. And I know there's some great kids out there. Why aren't we hearing about them? We hear about the sports athletes, right? Well, I was never good at sports. So I was out of that equation, never coordinated enough. But I thought there's some really good kids. Let's honor those kids. Let's pay attention to those kids. And so we started in 2015. And every year we've been giving away these amazing Y-PIF Awards, Youth Passing It Forward. And the kids that I have met are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I'm looking through your website a little bit because I interviewed a young lady, 11 years old, named Naya, who our episode was called Be Kind. Do you know her?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
She's amazing.
These kids like at 11 and 10 get it, and they're doing great things, and they're superstars. They are superstars. Why doesn't everyone know Naya?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. And you know what? I guess sometimes I think, the older we get, maybe the more jaded we get. Not all of us, but some of us. And what's happening to us? Where'd that 11-year-old's kindness go with that, that maybe the 25-year-old jaded kid now?
It happens to all of us, and I'm right there too. It happens to me. I've trained my brain, and I believe that being positive is an exercise, and I believe that you have to train your brain to do that and live in that. And it's just like physical exercise. You have to do it every single day to get buff. And we're bombarded with negativity everywhere. In the media, especially, every time we turn on TV, we see negative, we see murder, we see crime, we see bad shit that happens, right? We see the worst of the world. And so you've got to train your brain to think positively. And what's in your toolbox? I believe in a toolbox. We all have a toolbox. So what's in your toolbox that when you get to that point and you're starting to go down the rabbit hole, what is that tool that can bring you back up to the place where you feel positive and motivated and understand that the world is actually a miraculous place to be, that's full of the most beautiful, intense beings that exist. I was in the hot tub yesterday morning, and I was looking out, and it was quiet. And there was a bird, a robin, that flew and landed very close. And so I could see it. I was very still, and I could see it. And looking at the color of that bird was the most beautiful thing. It was a gift in the morning. And seeing that gift was took my breath away. But I had to train my brain to do that, right? Because I probably wouldn't have noticed that robin before. I would have been like, oh, that's a robin, no big deal. But when you look at that robin and see the beauty, oh my gosh.
My peach trees in front of the fledge are starting to blossom. I know everyone, I got to protect them in a few days. And this morning when I walked by it, I was like, damn, you're beautiful. And I was talking to it and looking at all the blooms. And it was just, I don't know. We are on a drug. This kindness is a pretty powerful drug. Got us talking to robins and trees and everything.
Oh, man, they talk back to us. They show us things that are incredible.
Yeah. So I put the nomination out so everyone can see ePIFanyNow.org is the main website. And then I put the Y-PIF Award nomination out in the link as well.
Yeah, we're looking for kids who are doing great things. And listen, Jerry, this is the thing people get wrapped up in, is like, well, it's not a big thing what they're doing. Every act of kindness is an amazing act of kindness. So if they take your garbage in, if they pay you a compliment, whatever, I don't care. I just want to honor kids, because kids don't get enough honor. So, nominate them. Go to our website and nominate somebody. You have until April 30th, which is Friday, April 30th, a couple Fridays away, to nominate your Y-PIF, somebody who's doing amazing things.
What ages do they have to be?
So we ask that they're kindergarten through 12th grade.
All right. Well, every kindergarten's kind, right?
Oh, my God. Well, we had kindergartens. I think it was actually first grade that won. 2019, our first graders won. The entire first grade class from Lansing Christian Schools won, and they were doing a weekend survival kits. They put weekend survival kits together for people who didn't have food on the weekend. It was great.
Yeah.
So what happens is when we get the nominations in, we put them up on our website and with a bio, and we ask the Y-PIF nominee to pick a charity that they'd like to support. And so the public can go on our website and vote for their favorite kid, their favorite Y-PIF. A vote is $1, but every dollar then goes back to the Y-PIF's charity. So at the end, we're able to make, honestly, Jerry, we've made thousands of dollars donations in the child's name to different charities throughout. So it's perfect. And then ePIFanyNow board of directors picks one for the ultimate Y-PIF winner, and then we give $500 in addition to all the money they raised to them. The dream is, the next step is, we're going to create a little incubator, because I want to match kids who are doing great things with seniors who are retired and put that synergy together, because these kids have amazing ideas. And so these seniors who are looking for things to do could help with those kids and their idea, and we can make the world even better. They can take the idea and help create it even bigger. So that's my dream. That's where I want it to go in the next phase. And so we're looking for funding for that, because it's going to cost a little bit to put that together. We have an amazing sponsor with MSU-FCU. They've been with us for so long. They've been great. General Motors has been incredible to us. And so, it takes a lot to put all this together, but we have such a great group of volunteers and board of directors that really believe in the cause.
Yeah, it's a good cause to get behind. I mean, it seems obvious. Get behind this cause.
Yeah, and this is interesting, Jerry. We've had people that say, I don't, they're when you go to do something kind for them, they're very standoffish. Like, what do you want? Why are you doing that? What's going on? And so I always tell everyone, you're going to run into people when you do something like that. You're going to run into people like that. So you say, oh, you totally are the person that understands what I'm talking about. So here, I'm going to give you a card. So we have ePIFanyNow cards that we ask everyone to get out. I have a new box here. So you, let me open it up. You give out a card to somebody, and then you ask them to pass that card forward and do something kind. And so I have lots of cards. You can get them from our website too. But basically, it's pass it forward. And so if you'd like an ePIFanyNow card to pass out, just the idea, it gives permission, and people think, oh, okay. Real quick, a story with that. Weberville girls basketball team came to an ePIFanyNow event several years ago. They went to a gas station, and they all pooled their money together and said, we're going to buy gas for the first car that comes into this gas station. It was summer. First car that comes into the gas station is a convertible Mercedes. And so the girls were like, oh. So they went up to the guy, and the guy was really rude. He's like, I don't know what you guys are selling, but I don't want any of it. And they're like, no, we're not selling. And I told them, I said, give them the card anyways, and just say, you have the power to pass it forward. So, take a card. Totally get it. So, and then they left. Well, he looked at the card, and he went back to the girls. What is this all about? And so they explained to him what it was. And they said he just kind of stopped and silently just stared into space and then started to smile. And he's like, I'm going to participate. And he bought the next round of cars that came through all of their gas. But here's a man who was really pissy, right? And his mood did a 360 and he became, he got it.
See, and your organization recalibrates people, right? Because he's probably feeling busy, self-important, all the things that get in our way.
That's a really good description, Barry. We recalibrate people. I'm writing that one down.
You can use it, man. You can use it. I lost my train of thought. Well, I'll tell you one of my train of thoughts. How come we don't know each other better?
What's that?
Why don't we know each other better before
I don't know, dude, because I've been learning about the fledge, right? I've heard about the fledge, and it's my friends have talked about the fledge, and I've seen some of your stuff. I haven't actually seen. Well, I actually did. I just saw an interview with Jesse from Super Web Pros that you did, who's an amazing. He's an incredible human being, and Don Haddad told me more about you, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow. I don't know. Timing's everything, right? The perfect time happens when it happens.
It happens when it's ready. Order will emerge.
Dawn, so excited for you to connect.
Yeah, sorry, I take those off quick.
She's great.
So, you said your mission. I would love you to say it again because it's awesome. Would you mind saying that?
Yeah, no worries. ePIFanyNow is on a mission to create a revolution of positive, transformational experiences through acts of kindness.
And I really love that word, transformational.
Well, it is. I guarantee you that when you do something nice for somebody else, and it could be just looking them in the eye and smiling or giving them a compliment, you will start to feel better. And the more you do it, the better you feel. And they'll start to feel better as well. So it's a drug. It's a free drug. We all have the power, right? No matter where you are in life, no matter how poor you are, how rich you are, what your race is, who you are, if you're a human, you have the power to transform your life through acts of kindness.
Yeah, I love it. What do you do every damn day to push that forward?
Well, I'm a little OCD. So I have a book, and it's my toolbox. And I have a book, and it has on the front of it my goals and what I want to do. And then the whole book is full of positive things that make me think and put me on that path. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not always positive. I can be downright negative sometimes. And I know what happens to me when I start going down the rabbit hole. I can get really deep, and then it's so hard for me to come back up. So I try not to go down the rabbit hole that deep. I mean, I do believe that you have to have contrast to appreciate things. So sometimes I allow myself to be sad or angry or whatever. I think balance is great. Just as long as you don't live in negativity your whole life. And I know people in my life that are very close to me that live in negativity their whole life. And I think it's so sad. It breaks my heart because it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. Life is freaking tough. It is. There's no getting around it. Life is so tough. But how we approach life can make it so much easier.
Yeah. I agree very, very much. You ever read like Viktor Kafka's Man's Search for Meaning? And
yes,
I try to read it every once in a while.
I mean, look at a concentration camp and have, how those people like Viktor. It's so strong, so incredibly strong. I don't know how. And maybe it's easy for me because I haven't encountered something that has been soul shaking. I haven't lost anyone in my life that's been extremely close to me. My grandparents, of course, that's sad, but I'm blessed. And I try to wake up every single day and be grateful. That's another lesson that I do. I try to be grateful for everything. I try to be grateful for the ability to walk. I mean, getting up and walking, the ability to breathe. And last year especially, I was extremely grateful for the ability to breathe when so many people couldn't. And I can't even imagine what that's like.
Yeah. So we daisy chain the shows together, and yesterday on the show I had a woman named Gabrielle who has a boat launch and dock company and an alpaca. I saying that right? Yeah. Alpaca farm. And her question to you is, if we came to dinner at your house, what would we eat? Who else would be there? And what would we do?
Well, if you came to dinner at my house, I wouldn't be cooking because I don't know how to cook. I really don't. I can boil eggs. I can make spaghetti. The chef in my house is my husband, Michael. He's an amazing cook. We put it on Facebook and get lots of likes on his meals. So we often play this game, Michael and I, with people that we have dinner gifts with. And we say, what is your last meal? If you could have a last meal, what would it be? So mine would be Italian. It would be meatballs and spaghetti and bread, amazing homemade bread with butter and garlic, and then and a wedge salad with blue cheese. And then for dessert, it would be vanilla ice cream with chocolate and nuts, my favorite. So that would be mine. Michael's would be an amazing steak with a wedge salad and a vodka and a baked potato salted. So what you would have at our house, he would say, what do you want to eat? And he would make it for you like it's your last meal, because he's a good chef and he likes to entertain a lot and he's really good at it. We just made limoncello for the first time, and Michael is this incredible creative individual. So he bought 15 pounds of lemons and decorated them for a tablescape. We just had friends over a couple of weekends ago. So we're all vaccinated. And so we have this little pod of people that get together that are vaccinated and have dinner. And so they came over. Thank God we were able to do that now. And so he created this amazing meal and tablescape. And so then after they left, we took all the lemons and made limoncello from it. So anyway, how'd that answer the question?
It does answer the question. It got me, Michael's last meal is what I had for dinner last night, except for whiskey, not vodka. And it got me thinking, I'm going to have to figure out what spaghetti tacos are, because if it's my last meal, I got to combine the two.
Okay. Spaghetti and tacos are your favorite, huh?
I love Italian. I love Italian food.
Oh my God. When I eat Italian and he makes it, I'm so full, I feel like I'm going to bust. But then it's like, okay, just one more bite because it's so good.
So now it's your turn to ask a question. Tomorrow on the show, we have Erin Meadows, who has just opened the Abundance Cafe. And what question would you like to ask her?
Erin, tell me the lesson that you learned last year during COVID that you'll take with you the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's a good question. What have you learned that you'll take with you for the rest of your life?
So I'm on furlough with the university. I work at Wharton Center as a public relations manager, and I've been there for 20 years. And so I've done that for 20 years, and I'm good at my job, and I love my job. And so when I went on furlough, it was really hard because I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But what I've learned is that I have been working the whole entire time. I've been helping people with PR. I've been helping my husband. I've been really busy. So what I've learned is that I'm actually pretty skillful, pretty resourceful, pretty smart, and I'm really good at what I do. And I can put it into different areas, right? So sometimes I think I was pigeonholing myself into like, I can only do this. And I've learned that I can do a lot of different things.
That's it's incredible that it takes a pandemic for people to kind of see their value. And this pandemic has been a magnifying glass for everything, good, bad, small, big, everything. And it's awesome that that's happened.
The pandemic has really given me some new opportunities. And one of those opportunities is I also host the Morning Blend on Fox 47. But since the pandemic came around, Fox knows my love of telling a good story. And so they hired me to do a weekly segment called Good Neighbors. And it focuses on all the good things that are happening in mid-Michigan. So this week, this Friday, we interview a man who lives in a neighborhood in West Lansing where there's 96 condos. Every week, he takes the garbage cans that are up by the street and takes them to the garage of every single neighbor that he has. 96 of them, and he's been doing it for 3 years. And when he does it, he says a prayer for all those neighbors. That's incredible. Those are the kind of stories that I'm looking for. People that are doing great things in mid-Michigan, because there are so many people, and I don't want to hear the negative anymore. I'm sick of the negative.
Yeah.
I wish the news had one negative story and all the rest positive. Could you imagine how that would change the perspective of life if we were constantly surrounded by the positive and then maybe there was just one negative? Right now it's inverse, right? We hear all the negative and then maybe once in a while there's a positive story.
Yeah. It seems like they have to schedule it. Let's tell one positive, but and it makes it look like they only happen infrequently. And nah, I see it happen every day. You see it happen every day. Yeah. It's all over the place.
Everyone in the news, breaking news. Well, what if we interrupted the programs to say breaking news today in Lansing, this person passed kindness forward, and it's amazing. Look what happened.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That would be incredible. So Mona said you already answered this question, but my question for you is, what is happiness, and are you happy?
I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy. Happiness to me is noticing the small things that are around, the robin, the beauty in the robin. I love the sun. I love the sun setting, the sun rising. I love my friends, my husband, my family. Honestly, I feel truly blessed, and I feel like I'm on a mission. I feel like God put me here to connect the positive, and that's what I want to do, and that's my mission, and that's who I am. That's all I want to do. And when I do that, I feel like I'm plugged in, and so I feel like I'm pretty plugged in because there's a lot of great things happening in Lansing.
That's great. How long have you and Mike, right? Michael. How long have you and Michael been married?
We've been married 5 years. We've been together 14 years. So
yeah. Was that when it became legal? I'm sorry, it's the wrong word.
Yeah, no, it was a year afterwards. For a long time, we felt like we didn't need a government document to tell us that we were a couple. But then it just became kind of easier. You buy a house together, you live together, you're each other's halves. So it just became like, we should do this and make it official. But so we've been together in fact, August 6th this year, we'll celebrate our 5th anniversary.
I'll celebrate our 23rd on August 8th with my wife, Shannon.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
how many years?
23.
Wow.
I'm 54.
Were you like 7 when you got married?
Oh, yeah, we're paying each other back. No, I'm 54. She turned 50 yesterday. Happy birthday, Shannon.
Happy birthday, Shannon. Yeah. Don't you feel like the 50s are amazing, though?
I've never been happier and I love where I'm at right now. I mean, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work, but yeah, let's go.
I feel like my whole energy has shifted from my 20s to my 30s to my 40s to my 50s. And I can't wait till 60 and 70 what's going to happen. But in my 20s, my priorities were so different than they are now. And I don't think in the 20s I really could comprehend, and probably shouldn't have comprehended, everything that I comprehend now. And that's okay, because it's all a building block, right? And I honestly believe spiritually that we die the day that we learn what we were supposed to learn. So, and that could be at any age, but
Yeah.
I'm sort of, I don't know, I'm a little woo-woo, I guess.
So what gives you hope? And that's going to be an easy one too.
What gives me hope is people like you, Jerry, that do this and that care enough to do this, because I know how much work it takes to do this. And it's an incredible amount of energy and work and trying to fill up. That gives me hope. You've been doing this. You told me 200 and how many interviews?
You're 214.
214 interviews, and trying to find the people to do it, making sure that the technology works, making sure that they're there, putting it together in addition to everything else that you do. It's a lot of work. So that gives me hope. And it gives me hope when I'm around people who smile and understand that life is really, it's supposed to be about appreciating everything that you have and every experience. And I mean, I get chills sometimes thinking about it, because getting up every single day, you have an opportunity to create something that you've never created before, go places that you maybe have never seen before. Even if you've lived in the same house every single day, I guarantee you, if you went out in your yard and really looked, you would see something that you've never seen before. There's opportunities every single place that you go. And that is exciting and gives me hope.
Yeah. It every time I have an interview, every time I talk to somebody, there's little epiphanies that happen throughout
I love that word.
The show, and I bet you do. And it just, Epiphany. I'm filled with hope.
Epiphany Now is called Epiphany Now because you can have an epiphany right now to change your life and somebody else's life, and it's spelled a little unusual. It's ePIF for pass it forward, ANY. And we don't say pay it forward because pay receives the connotation that you have to have money to do it, and you don't have to have money to do it. So we're really sticklers on it's pass it forward.
Yeah. That's, I like that because I see people, like we've got a free food stand out front and people come for food, but so many of them are like, what can I do for you though? And it's not pay me, I don't even know, but it's, take a little extra for your neighbor. And they get surprised. They get shocked when I say that. They get shocked when I say, thank you for taking the food, so.
Smile at somebody, make somebody's day,
Yeah.
It's incredible what you guys do. And actually, so with Epiphany Now, I've been interviewing people since the beginning of March, the pandemic, sort of like what you are doing, Jerry. I wanted to talk to people who are making a difference and doing incredible things. So we talked to volunteers, we talked to nonprofits, we talked to different people. And so I was doing that from March through May of 2020, and I was doing it every single day live. And so this is what I mean by it's so much work, what you do. And I'm in awe of you because when you say you did 214 interviews, it's just so much work. And so I realized that I needed to have a life too. I was working during the day and then I would do these interviews at night. I would be done probably at like 8 o'clock and I'd be exhausted and want to eat and go to bed. So now we do them via Zoom. So when we're done with our interview, I want to interview you to find out more about the Fledge, the amazing Fledge that helps so many people in Lansing. And I just can't wait to learn more.
And you got it. We're doing it. So we're going to have fun. Let's go 6 minutes. I'm not sure.
I say that I get carried away sometimes when we start talking and it goes on. I try to make it smaller because I don't know. I know our attentions go.
Mm-hmm. Well, when the first show that we did was 10 minutes.
Okay.
And I had, so I woke up on a Wednesday morning. I remember that. I want to do this show. I must have dreamt about it or something. We have a morning stand-up meeting that's been virtual that we've done every day since March 16th of last year. And I talked to the team, said, this is what I want to do. And my first name was 5 Minutes of Funk. That's what I was going to call it after the Houdini song. And that name wasn't quite working for me. And the first show went longer than 5 minutes. And by the fourth show, we were up to like 45 minutes. And I was like, okay, got to come up with a different name. And we used to skateboard. It's funny. Every damn day. That was one of our mottos. So we went back to that and said, let's do that old skateboarding thing we used to say.
So, Jerry, what motivates you to do that every single damn day?
The show?
Yeah.
Well, I think that it's almost always a positive story, but wrapped in there somewhere is also hurt and brokenness and some motivator. You've been doing this for 12 years now with ePIFanyNow, and even more with the Wharton Center. There are some people that it started last week, some people that just have an idea, and let's talk about it, and let's see where we're at, and let's see what these struggles are. I mean, and I struggled with depression my whole life. Watch Amy's show, she'll talk about that. Or I've struggled with substance use, or I've struggled with whatever. And you can't take a break from poverty. You can't take a break from oppression. You can't take a break from a mental illness. It happens every damn day. So if we got to suffer and be oppressed and, worry every damn day, then I'm going to be here for you. I'm not going back, to my house. I'm here. I'm an accomplice. I'm with you.
Yeah. It's interesting we're talking about this, and I'm going to share this publicly for the first time. But when I was 21, I was going to commit suicide because I was gay. And I figured that I was gay. Like, nobody was going to love me. Nobody's going to, And so when I was in 6th grade, my teacher had us write out at the beginning of the year a poem by Virginia Satir called I Am Me, just for handwriting. No big deal. At the end of the year, she had us write down the same poem to see where we were. And at the end of the year, I read it and I thought, I really like this. I found a poster when I was in 7th or 6th grade. I found a poster of it and I brought it home and I framed it. Fast forward to when I'm 21 in my apartment, laying on my bed, going to commit suicide because I really came to terms with the fact that I'm gay and nobody's going to love me because I'm gay. And I read that poem and it saved my life. And it was spiritually, it was this burst of energy that came into me. And I heard God say, you have a purpose, you have a reason, and I love you. And I'm not religious, right? But it changed my life. And it also was that moment that said, you have something to give. And that's what I'm supposed to do, is I'm supposed to give. So I understand the depression and I understand those things.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that with us. Do you mind if I take a minute to comment a little bit?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yeah.
I had an epiphany so my daughter died of a fentanyl overdose about 4 years ago. And I had a guest on the show. So I'm in the substance use space a lot with harm reduction and all of that. And I had a guest on the show that goes by Poor Gay Waiter or something like that on Twitter. And he's a recovering heroin addict. And he told me that he would rather be high than gay. And that's why he started using. And I had an epiphany about that because I knew why my daughter used. I knew a lot, but I never saw that route before. And then, of course, you grow up in the wrong spot. You grow up anywhere, but having to come out or having to struggle with that, I empathize. I'm an accomplice. I haven't been there, but I can definitely see it. And so, hey, reach out to somebody, everyone, if you ever feel like that. You know,
Absolutely.
You're all super valuable, and you're an expert in something, and you don't need to be fixed. You're whole, and just get someone to walk with you.
I think that's the thing, right? We all have something that we carry, but there's a reason for it. There's a purpose for it. It's there to teach you something. I don't know what it is, and sometimes you never figure it out, really. But there is something to it all. Me being gay is probably the best thing now that I look at, and I think, what an amazing gift that I have. So, because I'm authentically me now. Right? I'm authentically me. I am, read that poem, Virginia satire, called I Am Me. And I still have it and read it a lot because it's my declaration of self-esteem. That's what it's called. And it saved my life. And I think it will save other people's lives too.
So would you have freaked out if I would have had a shirt on today that said I am me?
Well, I would have smiled big and thought, well, this is the energy that is supposed to be, right? Like, coincidences don't ever. Is he going to go get one?
I didn't really leave my own show. But
I love coincidences. I love when that happens because that is life, right? That is life. Oh, my God. Yeah.
All right. So I got you one in reserve. That's Britt House from B House Originals. That's one of his designs. And that's like his first shirt and his first slogan that he does. So
wow.
He was also on the show before as well. So, all right. We got too much serendipity. We got to get this show over, do our show, and then figure out when we're going to meet up sometime.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, Jerry. I can't wait to meet you in person. And thank you for what you do. You make a difference, and I'm really appreciative of you. And I know it's a lot of work, so thank you so much.
Well, thank you for what you do. What would you like to? Well, first of all, did we forget to talk about anything? Promote anything? I think we got it.
Dude, talking about me for a half hour? How fun is that?
Well, take us out with something then.
Oh my gosh. Well, I hope that everyone stops what they're doing right now, walks away from the computer, looks outside, and sees something of beauty. And then go to the Epiphany Now Facebook page, ePIFanyNow.org, and share what you saw that's beautiful. That's what I would love people to do.
All right. So again, ePIFanyNow.org. Go out there.
Now, ePIFanyNow.org. So it's a little bit weird spelling, but go there and tell me what you saw that was beautiful.
All right.
So, my friend, you're beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for being on the show. Everyone, every damn day at 2. Remember, we got the We Are the Fledge fundraiser coming up this weekend, a marathon of 13 hours. We probably should have called it a half marathon. And come watch all the great acts that we have planned. And we got a few surprises in there. So we love you all. Have a great day. We will see you later. Bye-bye, Bob.
Bye. I'll send